Hey, what's happening everybody? So last time we did a van build video, we insulated the floor of this thing, and it made a tremendous improvement in road noise. The temperature inside the van has stayed much more consistent and less dependent on the outside temperature. And I think it reduced condensation a little bit, but like I said in the beginning of the video, and like a lot of people commented, it did not solve the condensation on the bottom of the mattress problem. It helped, but it did not solve it, and it needs to be completely solved. So we bought a bed platform, which I'm going to show you in a second, but I want to talk real quick about some other things we did to reduce condensation because we had it really bad. For one, we left the roof vent open a little more every night. For two, we got two of these Dry Dehumidifiers. These things are passive in that they just absorb moisture that's in the air. There's not actually a fan in here or anything that's like moving air, so they're not nearly as efficient as something that would be powered and has a fan on it and is actively pulling the moisture out of the air. It just absorbs it, and once a week or so you got to plug it in, or maybe once a month depending on how much humidity there is. We haven't actually plugged them in yet, and they're still looking good. It has a heater element inside of it that burns everything off. So these are like 20 bucks, I think. I'll put a link in the description for these. They definitely help, but they do not solve the problem. So the next thing we did was we covered the windows with Reflectix and then put a layer of this blackout fabric over it. And the final things, we left the front two windows cracked like this much every night and had a fan on in the front, and that air is just constantly circulating. So that helped a lot. The combination of these things greatly reduced our condensation problem, but like I said, not under the mattress. So, yeah, let me show you a new bed platform. We're gonna have to make it work. It's not something that we can just throw in. I mean, I guess we could if we want to do it a certain way, but let me just show you. Okay, so this bed platform comes with two of these things, and I'll pull the second one out in just a second. But check this out. It just folds out like this. I'll put a link in the description for this as well. And then this comes out, and then it's got these two little things that come down here. And if you're using it as it was designed to be made, you would put a little nut in there. It comes with them. And then boom, these just come down. Let me get the other one. I haven't actually test fitted this, so I have no idea if this will even work. I just saw it online, and it looked like it would be a good solution. So I figured I'd grab it and try it out real quick and see if it works. As you can see, this middle leg here touches the wheel well. And it comes back a little too far too. I'd have to move that fridge up, which the subwoofer is in between the fridge and the driver's seat, and I was planning on taking that subwoofer out and putting it back here anyway. Let me see if this other one fits. Well, these are pretty strong. That's definitely a good thing. Yeah, it looks like both of them are not going to fit like this. So on at least one of them, we'd have to cut the middle leg down. Interesting. Alright guys, so I took this bed inside and put it all together and made sure the mattress fit, and it was actually hung over about 2 inches. The frame is just a little too wide. That's okay, we can work with that. Maybe put a little pocket in the side to store stuff or whatever. We also did a bounce test, and it passed that. A little noisy, but it passed. I don't mind a little creaking. What else did we do? Oh, we checked to make sure that the mattress, because these holes are so big in here, see how big these holes are? We checked to make sure that the foam didn't protrude too much and that it could possibly damage the mattress. So it's going to be good. It comes out a little bit, but it's not too bad. And this will make sure that mattress breathes like crazy. So now with the subwoofer removed, it fits, and it fits perfectly because I wanted it in here so it would fit flush against this wall as much as possible. Alright, so the battery we bought, we were going to mount it under the van, but it's 150 pounds, and it was really expensive, and extreme temperature changes affect batteries. So if they were just like cheap $100 ones from Walmart or something that they make pre-made like boxes you can mount the battery in and mount to your frame, that would have been awesome. But we just wanted one big one, and because it's so expensive and sensitive to temperature changes, we're just going to mount it inside. It's also going to cost a fortune to pay a welder to build a box for it and mount it and custom do all that stuff. So we're going to mount it inside. I measured the battery, the height of it, to make sure that whatever height we cut this thing down to, because we want it as low as possible, the bed will fit over. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stick the bed frame on top of here and make sure that it works. So I'll get inside. Okay, great. So we got a little bit of clearance here, and it fits pretty flush against this wall. That's awesome. So let's check the height on this and make sure that it's going to clear that battery, which is 10 inches. Boom, 10 inches exactly. So, and I measured at this point where the wheel well is, because this is fixed and not moving, and this thing could be, you know, too far down or too far up or too far this way or too far this way. So if you measure from any of those points, they're not going to be accurate unless you're holding this thing absolutely perfectly straight. So now we know 10 inches, so we're going to cut these legs down, and we're going to figure out what we're going to do with these things, because it will be in the way. And the other thing is the way this is designed. Here, let me just show you. Okay, so the way this thing is designed, it's designed for it to fold up like this, which means that you can't lift up this way unless you lift the whole thing with you. But I can cut, is that in focus, in frame? Yes. I can cut this part right here off, and that means that it will be able to lift up, so that when we have it like this, we'll be able to just lift this part up with the mattress, and that mattress is so light it won't be an issue. Lift this part up and be able to access what's underneath here. And it came with 2 of these that are supposed to be bolted together, but we're gonna probably leave them unbolted, just so that we can lift both sides independently if we want to. No, that won't work actually, because the mattress is a big pad. So yeah, we will bolt them together so that you can lift the whole thing up. Yeah, that's the best method. And if we want to leave it up like for an extended period of time for whatever, we can just fold up that mattress real quick and then lift this thing up and it'll stay up. And we're still planning on getting a high top, by the way. That'll help this whole thing out a lot. So the next step is to cut out this leg on the other side and cut out this middle support bar and cut all of these down to 10 inches because we want this thing nice and low. And then we'll be able to push this thing off to the side, cut down the legs on the other one, and yeah, cut that little part out. So we got a lot of cutting to do, a lot of modifying this thing, but I think in the end it's going to work out very well. Alright, so I'm going to use the Sawzall here. I got a fresh blade on it that's made for thin metal, and wear eye protection. And I'm going to start off by cutting this leg off, because this is the one that goes over the wheel well, and cut this middle support part off. And when I mate these together, I'll take some kind of clamp or something and clamp this leg to the other one that's going to go right here, because there's 2 of these, remember? And they bolt together. So that'll help support this one. And I think I was talking about cutting the insides of these out so we could lift half of it up. But these things are so freaking light and the mattress is so light, I think we could just pick the whole thing up if we really need to get under there. Also, these holes are so big that we can pretty much pick anything out of here if we need to. So I'm going to leave these as they are for now and just trim down all these legs, or get rid of this one, trim down the rest of them, and see how it fits, and we'll try it for a while. And yeah, if we need to, we'll trim these down so that these can lift up, but it would affect the structural integrity a little bit, so I'm a little hesitant to do that, and the simpler I can do this, the better. Another option is to get rid of these legs entirely and build a little foam cabinet underneath it. I don't think we have to do that. Simplicity's bliss as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to chop this leg off real quick. Boom. I'm going to go around to the other side for this one. Alright, so the next step is to cut down all the legs to 10 inches, and I want to make sure I get a nice flat cut so that they're all even, because if I cut it at an angle like that, the one end is going to be sticking up higher than the other, and it just won't sit flat, and it'll be all wobbly and stuff, and I don't want that. I want a nice flat, get it as flat as possible. So I'm going to use this, I don't know what you call this little square thing, like a pocket square or something. I don't know, people probably have different names for it, different trades, but I'm going to attach this thing like this, or I guess like this, and And I'm gonna get some vice grips or something to clamp this down so that it's straight, so that I can just kind of hold the saw blade against it as a guide. So this is like a perfect 90-degree angle, and I won't be able, as long as I keep the blade kind of on there like that, it won't be able to get all crazy and wanky and end up with a cut that's like that or like that or like that or like that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna find something to clamp this down real quick. All right, guys. So for my next trick here, if I can find my tape measure, I'm gonna measure this out 10 inches because that's what I decided my the height from this piece right here needs to be. And I've actually already pre-done this, and I use this. It's called chalk ink pen. You can write on metal and plastic and chalkboard or whatever you want with it, glass, and it's just white ink that comes out perfectly. It's amazing. It's a pretty cool little product. I'll put a link to this in the description. This stuff is amazing. I can't believe how well this works. So now these middle legs are round, so I can't do the other thing I want to do, which is use this pocket square, but I can use this on these ones. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mate it up right here and use some vice grips and clamp it down. That way I have a nice straight edge, so I get a super straight cut with my sawzall here. And the reason why I want to do that is because when I set this thing down, if one part of the leg is higher than the other, then it's gonna sit all wanky janky like, and it's just gonna feel like crazy. When we sit down on it, it's gonna make noise and all this stuff, and it'll probably eventually put some marks on my laminate floor too, which is no good. So for the round legs, I'm just gonna take the vice grips right at the mark. Actually, I can get a little tighter than that, I think. And then I'm gonna use my pocket square and make sure that the vice grips are straight, and they're not. So there we go. That'll be a nice straight cut. I'm gonna take this guy and make sure that I'm at 10 inches. Just double check, because there's no going back. If I cut this thing too short, there's no going back. And I actually moved it down a little too far. It's about 1/8 of an inch off. So it's a good thing I checked. So now I'm gonna move it back up. Check. Measure twice, cut once, right? There we go. Square it up real quick. Nice and square. Let's check that. Perfect, absolutely perfect. So now I'm just gonna put on my safety glasses. Grab my sawzall. This thing's awesome. I love cutting stuff. And hey, can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
Can you sit on this thing?
Yeah.
We're gonna put some weight down on this thing so it stays put.
So right here?
Yeah, sit right here. Thank you. Look that way to protect your eyes. Yeah! Now this thing came with some nice little rubber feet that just pulled off. Perfect! Oh my god, that's like the perfect cut. So now, if I can reach it, just stick it right back on like that. Now I got nice little rubber feet. So I'm going to do the rest of this thing, and we'll put this thing back together. Alright guys, so here we go. Finished product. It's in place. It does not lift up like I thought it would be able to, and it still sticks over the end here if you scoot the mattress over. So I think we might put some kind of little pocket in. I don't know what the heck we would use. Put some kind of little pocket in there or something. It's a good height though. Once we get our high top, we'll be able to sit up all the way. I can pretty much, well, my head's in the vent. I can pretty much sit up though. It's a good height. And you can see, I mean, if the windows were open, you could just see straight out the windows from bed too. That'd be real nice and beautiful locations. And it's good for those Instagram shots. I mean, my parents' garage isn't exactly photogenic or whatever, but I think this is gonna work out just fine. And I got the passenger seat turned around up there, so there's still room to use the swivel chair. And this space over here, we're going to build a foam cabinet for very easy, just like reach in and grab stuff, you know, kind of separate it. We'll probably just do a big square right here and put a couple bungee nets in between to separate the areas, because they'll be much thinner than putting like foam in there. Much simpler too. And then up here, we're gonna put a little sink, and we're gonna put this new stove top I got, which I'll show you guys soon. I don't know if it'll be next build video, but it'll be coming soon. We got a really cool stove top, so we're gonna put that up here so we can cook inside or outside. I don't mind laying down and cooking. It doesn't. We're pretty much just gonna heat stuff up. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Love yourself. Woo! God damn it! Really? Oh, it's a spider.
Where? You just kill it?
Yeah.